Hi, my name is Siddharth Konkimaya, and I will be talking about an issue that involves our environment. Um, so basically, this is an idea I thought of while, trying to fall asleep yesterday, and, last night, and this idea is what kept me awake. So it's, it's a pretty good idea, you know. Well, you can think it's a pretty good idea, but it could also be like the stupidest idea you've ever heard of, like the most idiotic, dumbest idea ever. So basically, my idea regards the environment, okay? And this is what it is, okay? So our environment, nature, people, like all life forms on Earth, we are being exposed, and affected by the gases, the harmful gases and toxins, on the planet. And slowly, that's just, it's harmful to us, okay? And people say, because of that, we only have people say that we have 1,000 years to live, okay? We have 1,000 years left. And that's just an illusion, okay? Because, look, all we need, okay? All we need is one revolutionary idea that will just help us, that will cure us from all these toxins, that will cure Mother Nature, and that's all we need. We just need one revolutionary idea. It's not so hard. I feel like, we're smart, we're intelligent as humans. If we put our minds together, we can totally do this, okay? So, let me tell you the idea I've been thinking about. Okay, this is my idea. Um, okay, so I've I have like two examples. In order to understand this idea that I'm trying to say or trying to convey to you, you need to understand these examples. So the first example is picture a tree. Okay, like just a tree. And picture what it, just think about what a tree does. What is its function here? A tree, as we know it, a tree, takes in carbon dioxide and then releases oxygen. That's what it does. Okay, and that's my first example. So just think about that. Okay, so how is a tree like put on here? How was a tree created? So nature created that biologically. It was created by nature, and it's quite amazing. It's pretty impressive. That something can, like through the respiratory system, it can take in carbon dioxide and release oxygen. So it's this simple. It's so simple, okay, for nature, okay? All nature needs to do is create some sort of species, some sort of life form, an animal, an insect, like a tree. All it needs to do is create something, okay? A life form that will take in all those harmful toxins and gases and just release oxygen. It will go through its respiratory system and just release oxygen. That's all. That's all it takes, and then boom, we're saved. Okay, like it's not that hard. It honestly isn't that hard. And these insects can do everything. They can, or like the life forms of species that it can create can take in warm air and produce cool air. Like it's so easy if it goes through a biological process. Chemicals are tough. Nature doesn't deal with chemicals. That's man-made. Okay, but then there's nature, which is not man-made, which is made by whatever. Okay, whoever, whatever. But basically, what I'm trying to say is, we are not waiting to die out. Okay, we are not waiting to die out. It's an illusion. What we're waiting for is we're waiting for nature to take its course. Okay, that's all we're waiting for. It's not. And we just have to live as long as nature does when it evolves. But that's going to be tough, If we wait for nature to evolve, we could die out. So that's not what we're going to do. What we're going to do is we have to speed up nature's evolution. We have to speed up its process. And how do we do that? How in the world are we supposed to speed up nature's evolutionary process on a worldwide scale? That's so tough. That's so impossible. Do we put more harmful gases in the air? Do we harm our our Mother Earth? Do we harm it more so it can adapt to its environment, more quickly? Or do we think that's just what if it doesn't? And then what if we harm ourselves instead? Do we just try and keep saving the Earth so that if we keep trying to save the Earth, right, and try our best to slowly do whatever we're trying to do, and just conserve energy, all this stuff, then nature will just it'll take even more time to evolve into what it needs to be. So we need to let nature run through its course as freely as possible. We can't, we've done enough, to it. But it's not, nature can evolve. It's not. So let me tell you, one more example. So basically there's an insect, that scientists found like a year ago, and basically what this insect can do is it has evolved to the point where it actually has gears, like cogs, microscopic gears inside of like its legs, okay, inside its legs. And what that allows this insect to do, okay? So basically, this is the insect, and this is its legs. So it can synchronize its legs when it jumps, okay? It's this small. It's so small. And what it does is, it goes like, it synchronizes its legs like a machine. It uses gears. So just think about it like winding up, like, and then, and then the insect jumps like 6.5 feet in the air. That's ridiculous. That's crazy. That's almost scary that nature found its own way to create a machine, and to biologically put that inside of an insect. So it's like a living machine, and nature created that all by itself. That's scary, to think about it. But at the same time, like, that's just how much potential nature has. We thought about machines, but nature to just do it, to evolve into one. That's amazing. It's almost like we were put on this earth to speed up nature's evolutionary process. We were just put on earth to do that. I feel like eventually, if we weren't here, right, nature would evolve and do that on its own. It would create the way, like cars or whatever, but it's in its own form. But we just helped it, okay? And we should still help it evolve. We can't let it. We were put here. We're here to help it evolve, okay? And I feel like if we do that, if we help nature evolve, we can save ourselves. And how do we do that? I have an idea, okay? I have an idea. So obviously, we cannot, on a worldwide scale, make nature evolve. That's difficult. That's so difficult. But what we can do is we can create like a controlled experiment, okay? We can create like a biome, like a biosphere, and have nature, like a selected, nature like plants and some insects, and we can slowly expose, okay? We can give it exposure to these harmful toxins slowly, We have to create the perfect proportion in such a way that it doesn't just die out, right? We give it to it slowly, so it doesn't just die out. We don't just, just pour in a bunch of toxins and it'll just die out. It won't have time to evolve. We have to do it slowly so it can evolve. And it'll take years, okay? It'll take several years. It might even take a decade, okay? But eventually what will happen is nature will find a way to adapt to its surroundings. It will find a way to adapt to its environment. And that's what we're looking for, okay? How will nature do that? It will reinvent, biologically, it will reinvent like the insect's respiratory system, or a plant's respiratory system, okay? And that's what we're looking for. If we can create that, in a biome, just like a small section, it doesn't have to be there. It can just be, it's small, if we can do that, if we can get nature to create its own species that will help our environment, that's all we need to do. Then we can breed that by ourselves and help our planet. I feel like that's, it's a time-consuming idea. I feel like it's not too difficult. There are like some things, about it. How do we slowly, give it toxins? How do we even measure that? That's there. There's difficult. There is obviously going to be like difficult, things about it. But the main idea, like it's there. We just have to build upon it. We just have to build on it. So that's my idea. We can speed up nature's, like, to sum it up, we can speed up nature's evolutionary process in order to help us, in order to help mankind, and basically all other life on the planet. And if we can do that, then, who knows, like, because we were here, to help nature evolve anyways. We are evolving by ourselves, so why not help it some more? To speed up the evolutionary process, then we don't have to wait. We're not waiting to die out, we're waiting to, live on, live further, and this idea of going into space, it's not a bad idea. I mean, it's supposed to be like curiosity, it's supposed to be something that just boggles your mind, but moving, like transporting to space, so many people, and forget just people, we need to, transport life forms and everything, in order, to just move one planet's, move one planet to another planet, like, that's so tough. And, I mean, it's not possible. Nothing's impossible. But we should fix our planet before we try to go to another one. And we should always explore. Curiosity is amazing. I'm so curious. Space is amazing. And we should keep doing that. But we should also do this. We should venture, we should explore more ideas, just more revolutionary ideas. And that will help us save our planet. So, this is probably the dumbest idea you've ever heard. It's probably not. Who's to say?